Y'all people love being on the bottom. You worship the white man like he's God. You worship the white man's money like it's God. But you don't put God first. When all hell breaks loose on the earth, your money isn't going to be able to do nothing for you. You ain't going to be able to buy nothing because it ain't going to be nothing but pillage and destruction and chaos. We stagnant. We're in a sleep estate. Bring it out, okay?
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2 and verse 14. Is Israel a servant?
Is what?
Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave?
Is he what?
Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled?
Why is he what?
Why is he spoiled?
Our whole culture and our nationality has been taken from us. And we've been spoiled. Our history has been fabricated.
Ethnicity has been kept from you, not the nationality.
Say it again, no.
Your ethnicity has been kept from you.
Come explain it to me.
So ethnicity, right? Direct source of culture from, right? That's the kept from us.
So what do you believe our ethnicity is?
I'm Eritrean, East Africa.
Okay.
Right? I can directly touch my land, right?
Okay.
Like African and American, right?
Hold on.
He's been denied, right? His ethnicity.
What's your father's nationality?
Eritrean.
What's your mother's nationality?
Eritrean.
From over in Eritrea.
Eritrean.
So we're not the same people.
No, we're not. As it's saying. Here, Africa and America, the diaspora, right, have been denied his ethnicity.
Right, correct.
You know what I'm saying?
And
being a national.
So you have one thing where America tells you what a nationality is, right? So when you're born over here, right? For example, you got Asians that walk up and down the street, right? And they say I'm an Asian American, right? Because they were born over here, right? There's no such thing as an Asian American. You're an Asian. You're literally either Chinese, Japanese. If you call a Chinese person a Japanese person, they're going to be offended. If I call an Eritrean a person from Kenya, they're going to be offended, right? So nationality is who your bloodline and your actual lineage goes back to.
Nation, the word nation, you cannot take a word, especially in a language that does not belong to you, and redefine it for your own narrative. I'm not what you're saying.
So what we do is read the Bible. So I'm just telling you straight up. We go by the Bible. So God gives you a nationality in the Bible. So let me show you. In the Bible, you have these 18 nations that were created. Okay. So you have Cyprus. You got, I'm going to just say it, from Edom, Elam, Ashur, Ishmael, Moab, Ammon, Cush. So Ethiopians and Eritreans go back to Cush, right? But that's a nation. That's a nation. So
that was the empire.
You can say that as well. But those are nations of people. A nation isn't based off of necessarily a land. It's a bloodline. Now that land was given to those people by God. Let me get Deuteronomy chapter 32.
Empires have shrunken over time.
Let me get Deuteronomy 32 and 8.
So African nations or empires have shrunken over time, right?
Have done what?
Have shrunken. Have become smaller.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like after Kush, right? Was Aksum smaller. After Aksum, Abyssinia, smaller. Now when the Europeans came to part of Africa, Ethiopia and Eritrea, two different nation states, right?
Okay. What about Tyre and Zidon? Those are African nations.
Okay, you're right. So Africa, again, ethnicity will go down to tribe. So what we're talking about as far as family goes, when we had control, it was literally.
You said ethnicity goes down to tribe?
So ethnicity, by definition.
Whose definition?
Well, what language are we speaking right now?
See, there's
hold on.
Language doesn't determine anything.
It does.
Because
if you're speaking,
you got plenty of languages.
If you and I are speaking one language right now, right? Which is English, correct? What language is that? What's that?
Bastard language.
Huh?
It's a bastard language. And it's a derivative. It comes out of Latin.
No, it does not. So English is a Germanic language. It's 24 languages under the Germanic umbrella, right? So
no, sir. No, that's not true.
Not true?
No. English comes from Latin and Germanic.
Okay, so
both.
Those are the people, right? So to the basis of original English, right? Latin base. So Latin and Greek are known what kind of language?
What?
Latin and Greek are known what kind of language? It's Coptic. Right? Go ahead. Coptic is what?
Teach.
Come in.
We're listening to you.
Teach.
Right. Did you say what?
Come in.
Kemet.
Come in.
Who? He said Kemet. Keep going.
Right on. Whatever that.
And you believe this because you come out of Kush. Bring this up.
Let me, can I ask you a
Yeah,
question?
go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. You said you Eritrean?
Right.
Why didn't you say you Ethiopian? I'm asking you why.
So Ethiopia is European construct, as is Eritrea.
Yes, it is.
Right?
That's my point.
Within Eritrea, there's 9 tribes. I belong to one of them, Tigrinya. The language and the name of the tribe are one and the same. Tigrinya.
Okay, so you speak
Tigrinya, right? So there's 9 of us here, right? So we chose that for knowledge because Tigrinya, the Shida, Afar are, for all intents and purposes, the most indigenous of that area, right?
So you speak Tigray.
Tigrinya. Not Tigray. Tigray is also
Okay, I got you.
right?
I got you.
And then,
Yeah. Right. That's why I'm trying to.
Tigray were the tribe in northern Africa, Ethiopia. Right? So once they came and carved us up, this is right? So we'll name the thing in like 16, so 1890, Eritrea became Eritrea. Right?
Because of the Italians, right?
There you go.
Okay.
1896. Born Ethiopia. So 6 years out, right? So
Well, no.
Can't say that.
No.
But the country has been going in.
Ethiopia has been around for years.
Way longer.
For years.
The country of Eritrea, which is Greek origin, the name. The name.
I got you.
All right?
Okay.
Same with Ethiopia, the name. Greek origins.
Right.
Because there's not, so Tigrinya, the old language in that land, Harinya, which is the predominant language in Ethiopia, come out of witness. -EC. Alright? It's all Semitic language.
Okay.
Alright? So, but if you look people, we're not Semites. We don't come to build a shit. It goes deeper. I'm not knocking you, brothers.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
I love all this. When of y'all right, y'all have more information on here than the average black man. It's not get lost in the banter. You know what I'm saying? But I acknowledge your work.
No, what we're saying is that there's a possibility that your tribe actually is Semitic. Right. You get what I'm saying? Just because you live, the children of Israel were scattered into all nations. You understand? So the children of Israel have certain, for example, this brother is Nigerian. He's from the Igbo tribe, right? Igbos go back to the children of Israel. You get what I'm saying? So same thing in certain Ethiopian lands, Eritrean lands. Same thing in certain Kenyan lands. You have the 12 tribes of Israel scattered into those lands. And you would think that you may be full-blooded Eritrean or Ethiopian, but you actually may come from a tribe that actually was in that land scattered. You understand? Now you're saying that your people have told you that you're not Shemitic.
Well, not.
And they may be
No.
correct.
This isn't
But that could be that.
Because right now the country is, as far as religion goes, right?
Are your people born over there? Your direct parents?
Everybody.
Okay, cool.
Mom's side is Christian Catholic, right? Mom's side.
Your mother's side is Christian Catholic Orthodox. Okay,
Same
but she was
mother.
born over here. When did she come over here?
Both came in 83.
83? Okay, and then your father's side is what?
Muslim, practice of Islam.
Okay,
Right?
which makes sense.
Right?
Okay.
So these are spiritual purposes, if you will. They're not religious. Right? Dollars, it's not a nation. There you go, right? There's only 3 in the world, right? Judaism, Christianity, right? And Islam.
I'm not gonna say it's only 3, those are the 3 major.
Well, organized religion, and those are spiritual index. Right? Because those 3 have the same story.
I buy that.
The religions.
Right. The 3 main religions, the only ones that are also religions, Judaism, Christianity, Islam. Okay? First, second, and third.
Okay.
I gotta go.
But just can he bring this out real quick? And I want to read this for you. And
I got you.
bring that out.
So for the Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 8,
Dealing with nations.
when the Most High divided to the nations,
Divided to who?
the nations, their inheritance.
They're what?
Their inheritance.
So before they even got lands, they were called nations, a nation of people. Keep going.
When he separated the sons of Adam,
We're talking about the sons of Adam, so this is a separation being done.
he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
The number of the children of Israel. So I'm going to read this. This is the definition of Ham. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negro, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So Ethiopians have been around. The Most High God, the Bible was written a long time ago, and the Ethiopians have been around for a long time. So I understand what you're saying as far as maybe the state of it, maybe you said 1800s, but they go way back. This is where
Negro, right? All mean unanimous, right? Because in Latin terms, somebody from brown or dark skin, don't know that.
right.
So,
Right.
But Negro, the first thing.
They were called what?
He said
Moreno means black.
Yeah. The Spanish speak that.
Exactly, which is Latin based, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah,
Negro
it is.
is Latin, which means individually object. Like no black.
No.
It does.
No. A Negro just means dark skin. Just talk about a Q. Just talk about a Q. Because before it was called Moors. So Moors just mean
There's something wrong. What's your name? Michael? KD.
not Michael. Not
Я пустил тебе.
What's your name? Is that originally Nigerian?
Oh, no. That's another story.
I got you, bro.
All right, bro.
All right.
Come. It's book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32, verse 8. All right, funny. Then the Most High, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance, when he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel.
He did what? He set the bounds according to who?
According to the number of the children of Israel.
So when the Most High gave everybody their inheritance, the boundaries were set according to the number of the children of Israel. So everything got to go through the blacks and the Hispanics. That's what I was saying. The jury's out. When he said that, and which tribe he was in, it's like, okay. Because just like them brothers bring out certain people, certain tribes over here, you know, are people. Not all. Definitely not all, but some of them are. And they've been destroyed because they think that they're Hamites. You know? They think they're Hamites. You can even tell, it may not always be in the look, but you can tell sometimes, like, hold up. That's why I asked, both your parents, both of them are Eritrean? Because if they both are, you definitely don't have an original Eritrean look. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
You got some Jake, you know, and I know you can't go just by a cover or a book, but sometimes you can tell, and that's that spirit that brought it out. That, he started talking about his tribe. So the jury's out, you know what I mean? But he got the word. Eventually he'll, maybe the Lord will let him come across another Israelite video. He'll do some research and figure out who he actually is. Or he just might be Ham and get ready to slave.
Right.
At the end, it's just amazing because that's an example of the nations. We were just bringing out how our people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge of not knowing who they are. And then you have a guy come up saying, hey, I can go right back to who I am and go right back to where my people are. And that's because the other nations have maintained their culture. They maintain who they are because there's a conspiracy. Just like, bring that Psalm 80 out one more time. There's a conspiracy out against our people. This conspiracy has been going on for ages and ages, ever since the conclusion of the Dark Ages.
Right.
We're going to make sure they don't know that they are the Israelites. Let's forget about the word Israel. Let's forget about Israelite. We're going to create a new thing in the earth, Israeli. We're going to create a new thing in the earth, and we're going to place a wicked, abominable nation in the Holy Land.
Right.
Bring that out, okay?
Book of Psalms, chapter 80 and verse 6. Thou makest us a strife unto our neighbors, and our enemies laugh among themselves.
Our enemies laugh at us because they know who we are. Maybe not our enemies that actually live over here in Babylon, but over there in East India, in Asia, and in many parts of Africa, in many parts of Afghanistan, in many parts of Iraq, they know who we are over here. That's why, you know, I had a couple homies that was in the army, enlisted in the army during the war that was going on in Afghanistan. Then you had some homies that was in Iraq, much older than me, but they was in Iraq. But when they was over there in those countries, when they're in the midst of the enemy says, "Brother man,"
That's right.
"Brother man, why are you over here fighting in this war?
Right.
This is not your war.
Right.
Brother man, what are you doing? This is not where you're supposed to come fight. Why are you fighting for your enemy?" They call you brother man, even though you're not their people. They know who you are, and they know what happened to you, and they're looking at you because, like we said before, Israel. Is Israel a homeborn slave? You've embraced your oppression. Psalms 83 from the top.
The book of Psalms, chapter 83 from the top.
Let's deal with these enemies that this strife is brought in front of. Let's deal with these enemies that are laughing at us, because there's a conspiracy to keep our people down and to never rise up. Bring it up.
Keep not thy silence, O God. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God.
We don't want the Lord to keep this quiet anymore. We don't want to hide in the ghettos and in the projects anymore. We're not going to continue to let the white man oppress our people. We're going to bring it out, and we're going to tell the truth to our people, and we're going to pray that the Most High does not keep his silence and does not allow this oppression to continue. Keep going.
For lo, thine enemies make a tumult.
What do?
Make a tumult. And they that hate thee.
And they that what?
They that hate thee.
They hate us. Yeah, they may go to basketball games and ballet recitals and all of that with you, but they do not like you. Keep going.
They that hate thee have lifted up their head.
They are proud as hell. Keep going.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've done what?
Taken crafty counsel against thy people.
They've taken crafty counsel against us. There is a council that happens at the European Union. There's a council that happens at NATO. There's a council that happens at the BRICS. Keep going, King.
And consulted against thy hidden ones. They have said, come, let us cut them off from being a nation.
Let us do what?
Cut them off from being a nation.
So that's why you call yourself African American, black, colored. We don't want them to know what their real name is. Let us cut them off from being a nation, and what?
That the name of Israel.
That the name of what?
That the name of Israel may
Uh-huh.
be no more in remembrance.
They don't want you to know that you're an Israelite. They want to stick to the word Jew. So when you go to the New Testament, you see the Jews, the Jews, the Jews, right? And so now the white folks over there in Israel call themselves the Jews, and they are not the Jews.
Right.
They are Amalek. They are imposters. You blacks are the Jews. You Hispanics and blacks are the true Israelites. Keep going.
For they have consulted together with one consent.
Because they've done what?
Consulted together with one consent.
They've consulted together at the European Union and NATO. They are crafty, trying to keep you from your true identity. Keep going.
They are confederate against thee.
They are what?
Confederate against thee.
They are all in one conglomerate. They are confederate against you.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The white man,
The Ishmaelites
the Arab man,
of Moab.
the Chinese man,
And the Hagarenes.
more Africans,
Jabal.
Africans,
And Ammon.
Japanese,
And Amalek.
the fake Jews, those that say that they are Jews and are not.
The Palestinians. With the inhabitants of Tyre and Assyria also is joined with them.
Africans and more Ishmaelites and Assyrians and Arabs. Keep going.
They have helped the children of Lot.
They've done what?
Help the children of Lot. Selah.
Keep going on that.
Do unto them.
So hold on. These people have conspired against the blacks and the Hispanics. But you want to be joined with them. You want to be hand in hand, like Martin Luther King said.
Right.
But they have conspired against our people. They make mockery of our people. Keep going, King.
Do unto them.
What did God say do?
Do unto them
Uh-huh.
as unto the Midianites.
Do unto them as to who?
As unto the Midianites.
So if you read your Bible, you'll know what happened to the Midianites. And it wasn't a good thing. They got utterly wasted. Keep going.
As to Sisera.
As to what?
As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kishon. Which perished at Edom.
Which did what?
Perished at
So
Edom.
the Most High God said, make this place perish. The only way that you can make this place perish is coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of God, the faith in Christ, and unifying as a nation and stop hating one another. Keep going, King.
They became as dung for the earth.
What did they become?
As dung before the earth.
And that's what God said to do. Make the other nations as dung upon the earth. Make them your fertilizer and your manure. Keep going, King.
Make their nobles like Oreb.
Like who?
Like Oreb. And like Zeeb.
See, right now you all look up to the nobles of the other nations. You look at the councils and all the meetings that you see over there in Europe and over there in Palestine, and you say, "Ooh, look at that Arab money. I want some of that." Oh, look at all the owners of the NFL and the NBA teams. I want some of that money. I want to be like them, right? But the Lord said, make their nobles like Oreb. The Lord don't give a damn about their money. He don't give a damn about their status in the earth.
Right.
He wants them to be as the dung of the earth. Keep going.
Yea, all their princes as Sheba.
The Most High God don't give a damn about the other nations. Keep going.
And as Zulman.
Keep going.
Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of God in possession.
Let us take to ourselves. See, what they did was they overthrew the Israelites, they overthrew the blacks and Hispanics, and they took our possessions. They took our riches. They took it for themselves. They're over there in the Vatican, hiding it in the Vatican, so you can't see your true nationality and heritage.
Right.
You go over in Russia and you see all of the icons, the Russian icons, they are black.
Right.
When you go in Scotland, they are black.
Right.
But over here in America, they painted everybody white. Why is the Pope bowing down to Black Mary?
Right.
Keep going, King.
Oh my God. Make them like a wheel.
Make them like what?
Make them like a wheel.
Like a wheel.
As the stubble before the wind.
As the what?
As the stubble before the wind.
So God is saying that you white folks are about to be like stubble. God is saying like all you so-called Arabs, Chinese, Japanese, Korean, Cushites, all of you are about to be like stubble. Because you have conspired against the children of Israel. Because you hate the Most High God. It's okay. Your destruction is coming. Bring it out. Keep going.
As the fire burneth the wood, and as the flame set up the mountains on fire, so thy tempest, and make them afraid with thy storms. Fill their faces with shame, that they may seek thy name, O Lord. We are buried with him by baptism into death.
Bring it out from the top one more time.
This is the book of Romans chapter 6 and verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin that grace may abound? God forbid.
God forbid.
How shall we that are dead to sin live any longer therein?
How are we that are dead to sin live any longer therein? You don't have to get down with the ways of America. You don't have to just go along to get along. If you know the truth, then live by the truth. If you know that Christmas is against God, don't keep it. If you know that this ain't the New Year, don't do it. It's not that hard. I know that it's difficult being separated from your family and your friends, but if you want the kingdom of heaven, you'll go with God and not with man.
Right.
Let me get Jeremiah chapter 17 and verse. Start it. Stop putting your trust into men. Stop putting your trust into the government. Stop putting your trust into presidents and all of these people who are your oppressors. Shoot, our friends and family are just as destroyed as we were. So how are you going to follow after them that are dead to the truth? They don't live in the truth. They don't have the understanding of God. So when they come up and combat you for this truth, you don't conform to them. You can respectfully decline. You can respectfully try to bring out the truth and separate yourself. Bring it up.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man, and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord.
Bring it out again.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm.
Cursed be the man that trusteth in man. The Lord left a Bible. He preserved a Bible. Best instructions before leaving earth. For you to read and learn how to love God. Stop looking to your pastor and stop looking to the American government to learn how to live. God gave you the way. Keep going.
Thus saith the Lord, cursed be the man that trusteth in man and maketh flesh his arm, and whose heart departeth from the Lord. For he shall be like the heat in the desert, and shall not see when good cometh.
And shall not see when what?
When good cometh. But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness.
But shall inhabit the parched places in the wilderness. Because you separated your heart from the Lord. That's going to be your end. The valley of dry bones. Keep going.
In a salt land and not inhabited. Verse 7. Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord.
Blessed is the man that trusteth in the Lord. Putting your trust into the Most High God. Keep going.
And whose hope the Lord is.
And whose hope the Lord is. We put our hope in the Most High God. That's why we come out here week in and week out to preach this truth. Because our hope is in the Most High God. We ain't worried about your side looks, your anger, your sniggles, your giggles. We're not worried about that. We're not worried if you cuss us out. We're not worried if you threaten us. Because our hope is in the Lord. Because they killed the prophets. They killed the apostles. They killed all the people that were preaching the way of God. But they have right to the tree of life. Those prophets and those apostles that laid their life on the line as martyrs for Yahushua and martyrs for Yahweh, their right is in the tree of life. Keep going on there.
For he shall be as a tree planted by the waters, and that spreadeth out her roots by the river.
So when you put your trust in God, you ain't in the parched places of the desert. You're like a tree planted by the waters. You getting that nourishment. You're growing, you're flourishing, and you're going to be above the rest. In a higher state and not a low. Keep going.
And shall not see when heat cometh.
But
her leaves shall be green.
her leaves shall be what?
Her leaves shall be green.
And
And shall not be careful in the year of drought.
I mean, it's plain upon tables. Your leaves are going to be green, and that drought you ain't got nothing to worry about because you put your trust in the Most High God and not in America, and not in the UK, and not in all of the empire's wicked abominations. Keep going, King.
Neither shall cease from yielding fruit. So like year of drought. Neither shall cease in year of fruit. Verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things. And desperately wicked.
The heart is what?
Deceitful above all things.
But I love them. Oh, but you know, I just love everybody. You know, God loves everybody, so I love everybody. That's not in the Bible. Keep going.
The heart is deceitful above all things.
Your heart deceives you. The things that you think is right, God may not necessarily think is right. The heart is deceitful above what?
Above all things.
And
And desperately wicked.
desperately what?
Desperately wicked.
The Lord said your heart is wicked as hell. Your heart will have you to and fro, up and down the earth, doing all manners of abomination if you don't have the way of the Lord to guide you. Keep going.
Who can know it?
Who can know it?
Verse 18. I, the Lord, searcheth the heart. I try the reins. Even to give every man according to his ways.
Even to give every man according to his way. The Most High tries the reins. When you say God knows my heart, you damn right he do. You absolutely right that he do. And he tries the reins. So he does know your heart. He does know if you care about his way. He does care and know if you're listening and paying attention. Bring that one out one more time.
I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins. Even to give every man according to his ways, and according to the fruits of his doings.
According to the fruits of his doing. Sounds like works. Sounds like works. You try to use faith as an excuse, but your faith is nothing without works.
Right.
Because your works show your faith. Your works show your faith. So the Lord is going to judge you by the fruit of your doing.
Right.
So you just kept Christmas last week. God hates Christmas. Repent. Don't keep it next year if we still here. This is not New Year's. Don't celebrate New Year's.
Right.
Celebrate Passover. Celebrate first fruits. Separate yourself from the enmity of this world and this earth.